Hey, welcome back to English Edge. I'm John, and I'm really glad you're here today. You could be doing anything else right now, but you chose to press play, and that means something. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that can be uncomfortable, a little scary, but also deeply exciting. We're talking about risk and why taking risks is important in life. Maybe just hearing the word risk makes you a little tense, and I get that. Most of us are raised to avoid risk, to stay safe, to play it smart, to think twice or three times before stepping into the unknown. But here's the thing, while safety is important, growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. The truth is, every beautiful, life-changing thing you've ever wanted lives on the other side of risk. So today, let's talk about why taking risks is not only necessary, but deeply meaningful. Let's unpack the fears, the myths, and the moments that shape us when we decide to step out of the known and into possibility. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something that scared you? Not in a reckless way, not just for the thrill, but something that truly pushed you out of your routine. Something uncertain, something with no guarantee. Maybe it was starting a new job, moving to another city, opening up to someone you care about, quitting something that didn't feel right, or simply choosing to change. If you've done something like that recently, I want you to take a second to feel proud of yourself, because that takes courage. And if it's been a while since you have taken a risk, if you've been feeling stuck, unsure, or maybe even invisible in your own life, this conversation is especially for you. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Not taking risks is also a risk. Staying in a situation that drains you, holding back your dreams, waiting for the perfect time, playing small because you're afraid to be seen. That's not safety. That's slow self-abandonment. We often think, what if I fail? But rarely do we ask, what if I never try? The fear of regret is heavier than the fear of failure. When we take risks, we open doors. Maybe not the ones we expect. Maybe we stumble first, but we learn, we grow, we become more alive. That's what risk does. It brings you back to life. You stop sleepwalking. You feel things more deeply. You start to discover who you really are when you're not following a script. Taking a risk doesn't mean acting without thinking. It means listening to your inner voice, even when it's whispering, even when the world tells you to be quiet, to sit still, to wait. Sometimes the risk is simply being honest, saying what you need, owning what you feel, telling someone, I'm not happy, or I want more, or this isn't working. That's a risk, a powerful one. Because anytime we step away from what's familiar, whether it's a relationship, a job, or even an old version of ourselves, we face uncertainty. And humans don't like uncertainty. But here's something beautiful about risk. It's where your freedom lives. Think about the people you admire, the ones who inspire you. Do you think they got there by doing only what was safe? Probably not. They said yes when they were scared. They tried when they weren't ready. They jumped even when their legs were shaking. And yes, maybe they failed. Maybe they cried. Maybe they doubted themselves 100 times. But they kept going, and every risk they took shaped them into who they are. You can do the same. The first step is recognizing that fear is part of the process. It doesn't mean something's wrong. It means you're stretching. It means something matters to you. Don't wait to feel fearless. That moment may never come. You act even with fear. You move forward anyway. Taking risks doesn't mean you won't fall, but it does mean you'll learn how to get back up. And every time you do, you build confidence, not in the outcome, but in yourself. You start to believe, I can handle this. And that belief changes everything. Let's talk about something else. Risk doesn't always look dramatic. It's not always quitting your job or traveling the world. Sometimes the biggest risks are quiet, like choosing to forgive, or trusting someone again, or letting go of an identity that once made you feel safe. Sometimes the risk is rest, or saying no, or starting over at an age you thought you were supposed to have everything figured out. These risks matter just as much. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, but you owe it to yourself to not shrink your life out of fear. Because life is short, and if we're not careful, we'll spend it waiting for certainty, waiting for permission, waiting until we're ready. But here's the truth. You are never truly ready, and the timing will never be perfect. You'll always have doubts. You'll always have reasons to wait. But what if you stopped waiting? What if you said yes now? The people who live the fullest lives are not the ones who have it all figured out. They're the ones who are willing to try, to risk, to fail, and to begin again. They collect experiences, not just comfort. They choose meaning over ease, and they understand that discomfort is the cost of growth. So what about you? What's one thing you've been wanting to do, but fear has kept you from trying? What dream have you been silencing because it feels too big, too risky, too uncertain? What would happen if you gave yourself permission to go for it? Not all at once, not in a perfect way, just one small step in the direction of your truth. Because you don't need to take giant leaps to change your life. You just need to move with intention. You just need to believe that you deserve a life that excites you, even if it scares you. Let me remind you, you are not fragile. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are powerful and brave and capable of more than you know. Risk isn't about gambling your future. It's about choosing to live your life fully, to stop settling, to stop hiding, to stop playing a role that doesn't feel real anymore. It's about saying yes to the version of you that you've always wanted to be. So take the class, make the call, write the email, have the conversation, take the trip, start the thing, take the risk. Because one day you'll look back and the scariest moments will be the ones that mattered most. The risks you took, the things you said yes to, the people you loved, the dreams you chased even when they felt impossible. Those are the stories that will make your life beautiful. So don't wait. Your next chapter is waiting on the other side of risk. I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, if it reminded you of something you have been holding back, I hope you take it as a sign. Not from me, but from life itself. Take the risk, even if your voice shakes, even if you don't know what's next. You're strong enough to figure it out. Thank you for listening to English Edge. I'm John, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, be kind to yourself, take a small step, and remember, you were made for more than playing it safe. You're doing better than you think. Take care.